Why quiet people feel different. Most people believe power is loud. They believe influence comes from speaking more, explaining more, reacting faster. But if you pay close attention, you'll notice something strange. The calmest people don't argue. The most focused people don't announce their plans. And the strongest ones rarely explain themselves. This isn't coincidence. Most people are exhausted not because life is difficult, but because they are constantly leaking energy through words, reactions, and attention they never needed to give away. And here's the part most people miss. Every unnecessary word costs you something. Stoic philosophy understood this long before the modern world became noisy. Silence was never about being passive. Focus was never about isolation. Both were tools for control. In this video, you'll learn why focusing on yourself and saying less quietly gives you more power than most people ever realize. But first, you need to see why the habit of explaining yourself is slowly draining your life. The hidden cost of explaining yourself. Most people don't notice how often they explain themselves. They justify decisions that don't need justification. They clarify intentions no one asked about. They defend boundaries they already have the right to set. This constant explaining feels harmless, even polite. But it comes at a cost. Every explanation is a negotiation for approval, and every negotiation gives away a little control. Stoics believed that peace comes from alignment, not validation. If your actions are right, explanation becomes optional. Quiet people understand this intuitively. They don't rush to correct misunderstandings. They don't chase agreement. They let reality speak on their behalf. And once you stop explaining, something unexpected happens. Your energy stays with you. But this only works if you understand why silence isn't weakness, it's restraint. Silence is control, not submission. Many people fear silence because they confuse it with losing. They think staying quiet means accepting disrespect. They think not responding means being powerless. Stoicism teaches the opposite. True power is the ability to pause, to choose response instead of reaction, to remain steady while others lose control. Words have consequences. They escalate situations that didn't need escalation. They lock you into emotional positions you didn't intend to take. Quiet people avoid this trap. They speak when words are useful, and stay silent when words would only create noise. This restraint creates presence, and presence creates authority. But restraint alone isn't enough. Without focus, silence becomes emptiness, and this is where most people fail next. Focus disappears when attention is everywhere. Focus isn't lost because people are lazy. It's lost because attention is constantly pulled outward. Notifications, opinions, comparisons, endless commentary. Stoics treated attention as life itself. Wherever your attention goes, your energy follows. And wherever your energy goes, your life slowly moves in that direction. Most people live scattered lives. They monitor reactions. They track others. They respond instead of direct. When you focus on yourself, you reverse this process. Your attention stops leaking. Your goals become clearer. Your mind becomes quieter. Focus isn't about adding effort. It's about removing interference. And once interference is gone, another illusion starts to break, the illusion of competition. When you focus on yourself, competition ends. Comparison feels natural, but it's one of the most exhausting habits there is. When you compare, your life becomes reactive. You chase timelines that aren't yours. You measure success using standards you didn't choose. Stoics rejected this entirely. They believed the only comparison that mattered was internal. Who you were yesterday versus who you are becoming. Quiet people understand this. They don't race. They don't perform. They move at a pace that makes sense for their life. From the outside, it may look slow. From the inside, it feels peaceful. And peace is only possible when your plans are protected, which is why silence matters even more than most people realize. Silence protects your direction. Talking about your plans feels productive, but most of the time it weakens them. Speaking creates premature reward. The mind feels progress without action. And once that reward is gone, motivation fades. Stoics believed in quiet execution, improvement without announcement, progress without performance. Silence shields your plans from doubt, from criticism, from opinions that arrive too early. You don't need support before you've built strength. You need consistency before visibility. And once you understand this, you'll see why emotional control is impossible without verbal restraint. Emotional control begins with saying, "Lease." Most emotional chaos starts with words. Arguments escalate because of language. Regret follows because of things said too quickly. Overthinking begins with unnecessary expression. Stoics practice restraint not to suppress emotion, but to prevent amplification. When you say less, emotions settle faster. When you pause, clarity returns. When you don't react immediately, control stays with you. Quiet people aren't disconnected. They're efficient. They don't turn every feeling into a reaction. They let emotions pass without turning them into identities. And this calm changes how others respond to them, which leads to the final realization most people never reach. Choosing quiet is a strategic decision. Living quietly doesn't mean withdrawing from life. It means engaging deliberately. Stoicism teaches that peace comes from design, not chance. From choosing simplicity over excess, depth over noise. Quiet people protect their mornings. They limit distractions. They choose what deserves their attention. This isn't accidental. It's intentional. In a world addicted to stimulation, quiet becomes an advantage. And focus becomes freedom. But the real transformation only becomes clear when everything comes together. Less noise, more power. You don't need to announce your growth. You don't need to explain your choices. And you don't need to react to everything. Focus on yourself. Say less. Protect your energy. Stoicism doesn't offer escape from life, but it offers control within it. When attention is guarded, silence becomes strength, and calm becomes presence. And once you stop leaking energy into noise, something changes. Life feels slower. Decisions feel clearer. People sense your stability without you saying a word. If this perspective resonates with you, like the video, subscribe and watch it again quietly. You'll hear something different the second time.